atrocious and the red line kinda scary. I found a place, I found some work and started getting checks. So next I turned to Tinder in the hope of getting sex. I chatted with a lovely lady by the name of Lauren. We met up in a Northside bar, she liked that I was foreign. We got on well, some spark was there, she seemed like a good sort. It's at that point she asked me, Robbie, have you tried Malört? I lifted up the shot glass with anxiety and fear. Then holy crap, my accent's weird. It sounds like I'm from here. A shot of Malört will make you feel new. A shot of Malört, hey, put Chicago into you.
I had so many people tag me on Cleveland Scene's Instagram post that Malört is finally coming to Ohio. I told the story a couple of months back. We were out having dinner with some friends and bar hopping after that and ended the evening at the Harbor Inn. And it was too late in the evening. It was past midnight for me to get into Malört. Yeah, that's kind of you got to time that properly.
What time? Is that like a 10 p.m. shot?
I think, yeah. I mean, it
like
was
after midnight. After what time is it too late?
I mean, too close to last call, maybe.
Yeah.
I guess depending on but I mean, it was like 1:15, and Burge goes, "Let's see if they have Malört." I'm not doing Malört.
I cannot.
Yeah, I think I got into a little bit of trouble with the bartenders because I had asked them about it, and they said, "Well, not here, but we can get some." I go, "It's a little late." Anyway, Malört, if you've ever had it or are familiar with it.
It's god-awful.
It's delicious.
So
it
bad.
is.
It's unnecessarily bad.
Well, Malört is Swedish for wormwood, right? So it's absinthe adjacent, but it is almost indescribable what Malört is, but it is a legendary Chicago liqueur.
It's herbal.
Yeah.
And that's putting it kindly.
Right.
They have announced that they've
an herb.
Yeah, right.
struck a deal to bring Malört to Ohio. And the comments on Cleveland Scene's post are fantastic. Again, everybody was tagging me in it, but one chemical spill wasn't enough in Ohio, somebody said.
That's great.
Finally, I can buy paint thinner flavored liquor in Ohio. These pants aren't going to crap themselves. That's kind of a long-standing... Malört has T-shirts to that effect. I have a Malört soccer jersey in my closet.
It's not just your extra skin?
No, like Kevin Smith. Nobody in Ohio asked for this, somebody says. Make your taste buds become your taste enemies. A lot of great comments. So for people who have clearly had Malört, and it is a rite of passage. Mary's had it, we've all had it.
Very bad. And I'm an alcoholic.
Well, I guess you are a current alcoholic,
You're an alcoholic
aren't you?
forever. I'm
Let's
just
be
in
honest.
recovery.
Most
In
alcohol-
recovery.
Most alcohol tastes bad.
Not that bad.
Like it's a different kind of bad.
If you've had Fernet, it's not
Bill
even
likes
like
Fernet.
I like Fernet.
That's what I'm
Is a
saying.
milkshake.
Malört isn't even like Fernet, but it's kind like that herbal burn that Fernet has is kind of similar to what Malört has.
Well, there are some liqueurs
It's
where people say, well, up front it's okay, but then the after is bad. Every stage of Malört is rough.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's
It doesn't start well.
unnecessary.
It doesn't finish well.
You can't mix it with anything. Like,
You can.
not really.
Again, you
Shouldn't.
just have to do it early. Well, you never had a French 75 with Malört?
No. That's gin and champagne.
Yeah.
And then you put
That's right.
Malört in it.
So anyway,
Oh my God,
it
it's
is...
like topping an ice cream sundae with anchovies. Why
Yes,
would you even
come
do that?
on. But it was founded in the 30s on the south side of Chicago by a Swedish immigrant who didn't realize that he would be playing a joke on people for the next 100 years. And it's kind of become shorthand for a dare because it does very much to some people taste. Well, you know how cilantro tastes different to people? You know, they said they determine it's genetic. That you either love cilantro or it tastes like soap to you.
It's very soapy.
I'm in the former group. I would put cilantro on everything. I like a cilantro garnish in my Malört shots.
My mom loves cilantro. She's the person that goes through like Chipotle line and makes people go back. Like she's like,
I love it.
I want a level of cilantro, and then they'll do the cilantro, and then they'll do all the toppings, and then she's like, can I get another level
Yes.
of cilantro at the top? I'm like, Mom, you're making these people go
She's
back.
doing
You're
like
holding-
8-layer dip with cilantro.
Yes,
Right.
you're holding up the line. Her bowl, like sometimes they have to like clip it because it won't close.
We always they got to put a
Binder
giant rubber band
clips,
around it.
yeah.
Yeah. We always have cilantro in a glass in our fridge, and I'm always unwrapping it and snipping it like I'm trimming a bonsai tree over whatever I'm eating. I'm always putting cilantro on stuff. So anyway, Malört, up till now, you had to bring it back from a trip to Chicago, but they'll start to distribute it. They struck a deal with Heidelberg Distributing to distribute it here in Ohio. They distribute in Ohio and Kentucky. I don't know if that means that the Bluegrass State will also get the Malört pukes, but it's coming here, and thank you to everybody who thought of me when you saw that story.
Here's the thing, though. How sustainable is this? Because I feel like you buy a bottle of Malört, singular. Like, as a consumer, you buy one bottle of Malört, and it'll last you years. Because you're not doing multiple shots of it. It's not like you're having several drinks of Malört a week. It's like you have a party, and you're like, oh, like you said, it's like a dare.
It is.
So I feel like it's not going to, it might sell well to begin with as like a novelty item, but this isn't something people are going to be coming back for.
I mean, the last bottle I had in my house was like there was it was Wimberly's bottle, and she goes, get this out of my house,
Yeah.
take this to where you live, and it had about a quarter of the bottle left, and that sat at our house for probably 6 months.
That's what I mean. Like, I think it'll have an initial hype, but then you're going to see this drop off drastically come summer.
Well, listen, I don't think local bars are going to be ordering it by the case.
Mm-hmm.
They can just order it now.
Yeah.
They'll have a bottle, and you're right, it'll last them.
Forever.
Right, but it'll also, I think, it'll become like
Well, there will be people
more of
that'll
a
be like,
dare. And
yeah, be like, oh, you never done Malört? There's gonna be a
But
lot
that's
of
exactly
that.
what it'll be, and I feel like you've got a year on that, maybe 2.
But then you also have younger people.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I mean, and there's a lot of people that aren't going to try it for a while. It'll be fun.
To me, this
I
is
think
an
Malört's going to be
unnecessary.
just fine.
It's an unnecessary liquor through and through. I don't know how well it'll catch. Like in Chicago, it's like not an urban legend, but it's like a local thing. It's like, it's like a Chicago dog. It's something you have to try when you go there. I don't know how that will translate to other states.
Well, some people text me it tastes like earwax. Other people text me it tastes like pencil shavings and heartbreak.
You know what it tastes like? Have you had those what are they? Berry Burt's Every Flavor beans? Berry Bonds beans? What are they?
Bean boozled.
Bean Boozled.
Yeah, tastes like we used to do it as a bit on the show.
The puke ones.
Yeah, did you get puke or boogers
The
or
vomit
earwax?
one kind of tastes like Malört, actually.
Yeah. Well, it's coming, and you can try it for yourself.
I only had it the one time. Man, I think I had it in Chicago too. But I had it the last time I was in Chicago, which has been a while, and then I also had it when Erica had it to drink it for her punishment.
Yeah.
It's pretty gross.
They never.
It is gross. We should bring back Bean Boozled, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
You just got Bean
There's
Boozled.
a candy store right here.
Yeah, I know.
I
We
bet
did
they
that
have
the
it.
other day. What day was that? Super Bowl. My buddy, we went to his house and he had a like jelly bean dispenser, like a gumball machine, but it was full of jelly beans, and half of them were regular and half of them were that Bean Boozled.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So we were passing it around and trying them, and I think I got skunk at one point. Like,
By the way, a lot of people are asking me, Malört, don't you mean my lord? No, Malört and Savior. All right, I want to talk to Ice-T here. Let me do this.
More than 6, but fewer than 10 minutes. With somebody on the phone.
Ice-T has joined the iHeartRadio family. He's got a new podcast that's called Ice-T's Daily Game. He's checking in on Zoom. Are you there?
Hey, what's up, Alan?
Ice-T, how are you, my man?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in there. How you doing?
I am happy to see that you survived what looked to be a potentially terrifying turkey attack in your own front yard.
You saw that?
I
It
did
was
see
crazy.
that.
You know, I posted that and people were like, "Oh, it's normal. I got 5 turkeys. I got eagles. I'm like, look, I'm in New Jersey, dude. Now we have deer. Sometime I've seen a skunk. I've seen raccoons. So there is wildlife out here, but that big ass turkey was standing right in front of was just walking around my driveway. I'm like, what in the hell is going on?
And not only that, but people who don't know think that turkeys are like a real docile animal, and they are not.
I kept my distance. I was not trying to be part of a turkey attack.
A turkey attack, that's right. Well, I'm glad you made it out. First of all, my condolences on Richard Belzer. The Bells was I only talked to him on the phone one time many years ago, but he was just dynamite in everything he did.
You know, I worked with Belzer for at least 12 years. And, you know, the way I got the news, it really hurt me because I was having a great week. You know, went to LA, I did the Grammys, I got a star. And I was on a high. It was like really one of the best weeks of my life. And then the next day, bam. And it hurt, you know, and you know, it's hard to even feel sad for Bells because he was always fun. Anytime you think about him, it just makes you laugh, you know? He always kept me laughing. And yeah, he definitely will be missed, man. But that was my guy, yeah.
And he was always himself, too.
Yeah, you know, when I got on the show with Belzer, I was like, you know, okay, I'm the gangster rapper. Everybody's worried about me. And Belzer's in the dressing room drinking, smoking weed, wilding. You know?
Yeah.
And telling wild jokes. I'm like, I'm not the bad guy. This guy. Watch out for this guy.
Yeah, that's right. Ice-T's Daily Game. You have joined us here in the confines of iHeartRadio. And this is, I think, genius because people think podcasting and they think, oh, I gotta commit an hour to Ice-T. That's not what this is.
Now, what happened was I would do these daily game things on my Twitter page. My Twitter page is @FinalLevel. And I did it as a way to get people to come back to my Twitter page and build followers. So I just drop a nugget of wisdom. You know, we're talking about the game of life, the daily game of life.
Yeah.
And when people say something really important or good, we call that in the street a jewel. Like, ooh, I need to hold on to that. What did you say that again? And I would post them. And then people were like, you should write a book. And I'm like, well, people don't read books.
Right.
I just wrote a book, Split Decision. People are like, where can I hear it? I'm like, hear it? Like it's a book. So iHeart got at me and said, hey, let's do these little short podcasts. They're 3 to 5 minutes. I say the wisdom, and then I explain it from my perspective.
Sure.
And you could take it, leave it, or live with it. And they're short and sweet.
And you already have a year of these in the can, I heard.
Yeah, well, you know, I when they told me about it, I was like, okay, let's go. So we did 4 6-hour days, 24 hours, and I recorded over 250 of them. And, you know, that way I can do this and step away from it and get to other things, you know.
Sure.
Now when anyone asks me to do something, I say, how much time and how much stress will this cost me? You know, that's really how I decide if it's something I want to do. But it's become really successful. People are loving this. You know, I've been on podcasts with people where it's like 3 hours. So now I go to watch the podcast. I'm an hour in. I'm like, damn, I'm still talking. Like, you know, so.
Yeah. It's been a wild transition, too, because back in the day, you know, when video first became a thing, they were like, you got to get people real quick or they'll leave. And now people are sitting there talking for 3-4 hours.
Yeah. But this podcast is fast. You don't even have to listen to them every day. You can wait till like Friday and run right through 5 of them real quick in like 30 minutes. And you might get something that changes your life because a lot of these quotes changed my life. And I'm quoting everybody from Socrates, Aristotle, Muhammad Ali, Jimmy Fallon, just different people I've come across and just players, people on the streets, things that I've learned and I rock with.
I didn't think it would ever happen, but it happened here on this show with Ice-T that Socrates and Jimmy Fallon were put in the same category. That's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing, man. But, you know, the game can come from anybody, man.
Yeah.
When you hear something, you're like, whoa. Like one of my favorite quotes, my buddy told me, he said, man, if it seems like you're going in circles, it's probably because you're cutting corners, man.
Like one of these, like a little light bulb goes off over your head.
Yeah, like, wow, you know? And so it's not just all my game. It comes from other people, but it's fun. And it is nuggets of wisdom you can take.
Ice-T's Daily Game will not cost you much time or stress. It's two things everybody's trying to minimize. Ice-T's Daily Game is on the iHeartRadio app. He's also, don't sleep on this, he's on the new Kool Keith record, which is out tomorrow. Serpent is out tomorrow. Ice-T's on it. And he's...
My guy. You know about Cool Keith, Black Elvis?
Hells yes.
Yeah, Keith is my guy. So, you know, he calls me up, Ice, man. I need some. I worked on that, and I worked on also the Black Elvis album. So that's my guy.
Good for you. Well, it's good to see you again. A few years ago here in Cleveland, I think you and Coco did like a big rooftop party for St. Patty's Day, and it was bananas.
Well, her birthday was St. Patrick's Day. So, you know, anytime we come to Cleveland, man, pull up, man.
Listen, happy birthday to her. It's good to see you again. Congratulations on the podcast and everything else that's going on. And hopefully we'll talk to you down the road, pal.
Thank you.
Yo, let's do this.
Did you hear how Poundcake got on my head, by the way?
Colors.
Talking to Ice-T?
How did I get in here?
Because I said docile instead of docile.
It's
I
easy
heard
to do.
I heard docile, you dummy, in my head. We're talking about that turkey in his front yard, and I said, you know, people think turkeys are docile animals.
And he's like, this
Instead
idiot.
of docile. Yeah, exactly. We're looking at each other like, you dummy. I was one pube away from saying actual docile, like this lame brain. Jesus. He is a stain on the brain. Son of a bitch. Anyway, there's Ice-T, final level, all caps on Twitter and Instagram, and his new 5-minute daily podcast is called Ice-T's Daily Game. And he's still on Law & Order, whatever iteration of that show there is. Okay, I got to take a break here. If you want to send a text for anything, 35192.